And it's Canyons. I mean, we had already had a great explosive finale on Canyons before, but here let's talk about some ships. We have the Fancy Guardian, so not just the Fancy. He is running a mine launcher top, which has had a 100% success rate on the Mobula, a bottom deck of a Artemis and a Gatling, and a Artemis, what is that, flare gun top. And then followed up by the Gizmo Duck by Spudnik. It will be a Artemis front, a Mine Artemis left side, and a Gatling mortar right.
Outstanding. And ship number 3 is the Dragon's Rage, piloted by Xedeon. The Hwacha Fish is back with double-side Caro. And ship number 4 is the Victor, piloted by Sunstrom. It is a Gat Mortar Metamidian with side Banshee and Flare Gun, and a pause has been called.
All right, so we're going to take just a moment here. I do have the chat turned off, so we can't see it. Is just a disconnect?
Yes,
or...
it's a disconnect. So,
yep.
Yeah, somebody disconnected on the Victor.
Yep, so a perfect time to pause. Everyone trying to move as little as possible, including the drift. But perfect time, no action. We're just sitting here, everyone getting set up. No one's spotted, no one can be seen. Just taking a moment. Here we go.
Yes, taking a moment to admire the scenery, admire the canyons, admire the clouds, admire all the things before we admire the explosions.
Yep, follow the little bird flying around.
Bird watching, are we?
Yeah,
what
bird
are you watching?
Seems like a. I do not know what Tim put in here. I'm really bad at bird watching and naming birds. I can keep sight of it. That's what I can do. I want to say like almost vulture-esque in a lot of ways, but I'd be horribly wrong. I'm sure. It doesn't have the right neck. I don't know. Why are you asking me about birds?
That's why we're casting Big Brass Revival and not casting about bird watching, right?
Yes. Is there someone on Twitch right now just with a camera facing outwards?
I'm sure somebody's getting right on that, right?
Yeah, we do have. Yeah, everyone is doing a really good job holding still. No one wants to.
Unpause about to be called here. Here we go. Unpause. Unpause. Here we go.
Yep, so Gizmo Duck and the Fancy Guardian, you know, the name change throwing me off completely. Now he's a Guardian? I thought he was just fancy. But...
all right, so just real quick here, do want to point out that Chef Xedeon's Potatoes Au Gratin is bringing the Pyramidian again. So one of two things is going to happen. Either Fancy Cloud Dancers is going to win the Big Brass Revival Tournament 3 matches to none, or the Pyramidian will pick up its first win tournament. Excuse me, of the day. Not the tournament, the day. My bad.
Yeah, of the day. I mean,
the
the finals have a meta of all of their own by this point.
Yes.
But it looks like they're passing each other. The Fancy Cloud Dancers were looking for just a straight fight. They're like, let's just run in through the front door, and Chef Xedeon trying to flank, but not finding anyone. We see a flare go out. Again, no one spotted. Everyone's just very calm.
I'm thinking Fancy has a general idea of where things are happening right now. They might have a general idea. They're pointing right at the Dragon's Rage.
I think they might think that they're behind him. I don't think they know how far behind him they are.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think they have a general idea. They went into their own spawn, which means basically the flares are going out and they're pointing in that general direction. They just don't know which direction they're going to be coming from, but they do know they're going to be coming from that direction. There's your spots.
Flare sees the cloud, and there you go, Dragon's Rage. Now's your time. You charge in. It looks like they're going to pull off, try to use that wall. The Victor nowhere near right now, so it is
indeed
currently advantage to the Fancy Cloud Dancers in positioning, but Dragon's Rage doesn't take any real damage, just losing a gun before ducking behind that wall.
It's the correct decision, because against this Mine Mobula, you do not want to be facing it and charging it head-on. That would be the worst thing you can do. That Mine Launcher has been absolutely brutal from Fancy Cloud Dancers. Although, do note that is a different mine gunner on the Fancy Guardian. They've got, of course, actually they've got mines rocking on both of the ships. Both of these red ships are rocking a mine launcher, as you mentioned earlier. So it's going to be interesting to see that they're going to have a bit of a defensive hole in place. Blue with more aggressive ships. This could be advantage Fancy Cloud Dancers, depending on as long as they hit those mines. And, of course, they've been hitting those mines all day long as Fancy Cloud Dancers.
Here they go.
Positioning is crucial.
We're about to see the fight break out. Dragon's Rage just ducking underneath, making room for the Victor, who jumps over the rock really quickly.
Looks like Victor will be the primary target. Dragon's Rage realizing that Fancy Guardian is done chasing the Dragon's Rage. Victor might actually have something here. Do they pick up the mine? No, they do not pick the mine monster. Dragon's Rage back in play here. Dragon's Rage is going to pick up the Gizmo Duck. However, they go into the balloon.
Yep, a lot of movement, a lot of action, and not a lot of damage. And as I say that, though, Fancy Guardian, armor down. So.
Oh, and Dragon's Rage lining up the stomp midair. Oh, there's the kill right there. Victor picks it up 1-0 in favor of blue. Meanwhile, Dragon's Rage has the stomp lined up here. Dragon's Rage missing that Hwacha, though. Unfortunate as a mine goes out. Oh, a beautiful mine as the Dragon's Rage turns into it, but no front gun pickup as most of that Hwacha misses, but they do pick up 4 guns. Dragon's Rage smelling blood right here as the Gizmo Duck is low. Dragon's Rage looking for that stomp right there or an environment kill as Gizmo Duck is bouncing with no balloon.
I mean, this is where we're going to see Victor's mortar come into play. The second that armor breaks again, Victor is going to say, hey, I have arcs all the time now. You see, beautiful shots.
Yes, and just as you say that, I believe the Gatling picked up the kill right there.
It says the Victor killed it, so it could have been the Victor's Gatling, definitely.
Yes. Yeah, that was mostly Hwacha damage, and then, of course, the Gatling says, no, we'll just take that one, thank you.
Yeah, there was a mortar going on, so...
Yeah. So it was tough to see at that spot, but yeah, I believe it was the Gatling that picked it up. But either way, it doesn't matter because it's 2-0 in favor of Chef Xedeon, as they are in a must-win situation right here. They must win to keep this Grand Finals going in the best-of-5 series.
Here,
Dragon's Rage taking that Vanguard position. They are going to go scout for the Victor.
And Fancy Guardian, they were not able to break up that charge with their mines, and once they got too close, they just could not stop it.
Yeah, and Dragon's Rage does not have much damage to them. Flares going out. Looks like they might have a general idea of where they are. In fact, the Victor has been spotted. They might have seen a silhouette of the Dragon's Rage, though. In fact, now they know where the Dragon's Rage is. So yeah, they know where it's coming from. Dragon's Rage trying to move through the clouds, trying to reposition, trying to be that distraction here. The problem with that plan, though, is that the Victor has been spotted, so they must be careful. Oh, this Fancy Guardian's position could be crucial here. Gizmo Duck trying to force Dragon's Rage back, realizing that. So good job by the Gizmo Duck recognizing a potential weakness for the Fancy Guardian.
They're trying to make their angle in around those mines. Victor moving in, taking a bit of fire, but will that charge be stopped? I mean, that is...
Watch for Hydro. Watch for Hydro from the Dragon's Rage. They are setting this up. Here it comes right now. No, that's going to be a stamina raise there. Stamina raise. Victor in trouble. They're going to go Suicide Ram into the Fancy. Gizmo Duck picked it up, though. Dragon's Rage realizing, uh-oh, time to run.
Yeah. Does the Victor even have Hydro? What is the tools that he...
Oh, no. I was calling the Dragon's Rage Hydro.
Oh, okay.
Because they were going low. They were trying to set up the Hydro into Hwacha on into one of the ships, and just could not pull it off in time. Victor, I believe, might have been a bit too aggressive going into that engagement. They might have waited just a bit longer. Not sure, but at this point, Dragon's Rage looking to stall for time, as they are in a very, very bad position, as Gizmo Duck is in a great position here to possibly throw a mine out there.
Oh, the mine misses. Looks like it was a Lesmok mine, went a little far, never deployed.
Good Hwacha right there, buying the Dragon's Rage some time.
Yeah, actually, they've got a lot of breathing room. The Victor's going to get in before the fight even starts.
And there he is. Speaking of the Victor, he is moving in right now on the Gizmo Duck. A good position right here for the Victor. Gizmo Duck in a bad position. They could actually get rammed here. There's a hull break on the Gizmo Duck. They are getting the ram in, just not really picking up much perma-hull on those rams, though. Side Banshee coming out. Victor also hull broken. Gizmo Duck in trouble as the Hwacha goes out. Oh, the Victor goes down yet again.
Now the
not taking advantage.
In between both, a couple mines going out. Oh, really close to deploying and exploding.
Yeah,
actually
that's
hitting the Gizmo Duck.
Yeah, a good move by the Dragon's Rage, basically trying to use the Fancy Guardian as a shield, making sure that the Gizmo Duck does not really have much to work with that mine launcher. A great move by Xedeon. They're trying to pop that main engine of the Dragon's Rage. They have popped all engines of the Dragon's Rage. That should spell doom for the Dragon's Rage. This should be a third kill for Fancy Cloud Dancers any moment as it allows both red ships to catch up.
Moving in.
Yes, that should be a kill right there. They're trying to pick up the main engine and the hull break here. A flare going out, 2 flares going into the Dragon's Rage. However, that chem spray is holding true. That is a hull break on the Dragon's Rage. No kill just yet. A saving Hydro right there, but it could be too little too late. We shall certainly see here as Gizmo Duck, of course, not with Hydro. No Hydro on the Gizmo Duck, so they'll be out of that engagement for a bit. Fancy Guardian, meanwhile, looking to pick it up. Victor appears to be chilling right now. They're expecting the Dragon's Rage to go down, and there they go, 3-2 in favor of red.
Yeah, a bit of permadamage on the Gizmo Duck that maybe they can take advantage of in the next fight, but not a bad place for our Fancy Cloud Dancers. Though the Chef Xedeon, I mean, the Victor can output so much just straight damage. That Mortar showing in that first engagement what it could really do, but they just need to get in that kind of fight again.
Indeed, and let's update everybody here once again. If Fancy Cloud Dancers picks up 2 more kills in this matchup, they will win the Big Brass Revival Tournament. They are 2 kills away, folks. Chef Xedeon's Potatoes au Gratin must win this match in order to extend the tournament. And they are down 3-2, but they do have first blood advantage in their back pocket.
Yep. No, and here we go. The next engagement, just moments away. These ships are so close to each other. The Victor facing completely the wrong way, though. It is gonna, as soon as this cloud cover breaks and they spot each other, Dragon's Rage is gonna discover he's really outgunned. Oh, here we go. The Victor turning around and moving.
Yeah. Yeah, he's okay right now. He's okay, especially because he is that low right now. The Dragon's Rage should be okay. He's got enough cover to work with to mitigate any problems. I'm more worried about the Victor right now in their positioning. Victor has been absolutely lit up by this Fancy Cloud Dancers team. Victor has been spotted. They need to be very careful with how they position themselves, especially the timing with the Dragon's Rage has been a tiny bit off right now. If they can clean that up a bit, they should be able to pick up the Gizmo Duck with a proper charge.
Well, and if they can close the distance without eating too many mines, Victor has proven he can tear apart a ship. I mean, Gat Mortar does what Gat Mortar does, and that is kill ships.
Yes, and killing ships is the name of the game. It's a matter of how you kill the ships. Of course, that determines... actually, of course, well, I shouldn't say how you kill the ships. What matters is you kill the ships. But, of course, the Metamidian, of course, is very weak to mine to the face.
You know what? I'd call every ship weak, mine to the face, but yeah, the Victor does have to charge across that open distance in a much more obvious way. It does not have the maneuverability.
Hydro by the Dragon's Rage. Looks like we'll have our next engagement right here as the Hwacha, Hydro into the Hwacha on the Gizmo Duck. This is what they were trying to set up earlier, but they do not get a clean Hwacha into the Gizmo Duck. They only get 1 gun. No, it looks like they get 2 as the mine goes out. Oh, and Tar as well. Tar as well going into the Dragon's Rage. Oh, just brutal from the Gizmo Duck.
Yeah, they have given the engineer something to think about on the Dragon's Range, and now they are moving into the Victor, saying, you know what, he's going to be busy for a while. Let's just clean up his
Victor.
friend.
Watch the Victor's positioning right here. They are up against environment. This could be very deadly for them as a lock Gatling going out into the Victor. They do pick up the hull break. Mortar going out here. There's the kill there. It is 4-2. Fancy Cloud Dancers 1 kill away from a survival tournament.
Yeah, and the Dragon's Rage, his movement is going to be the decider here. If they can try to bring this back, he's going really low, trying to get out of those arcs.
Yeah, Dragon's Rage just in trouble right here. They are in blue spawn, so they do have that in their favor. One small problem with that plan, they are getting lit up, that armor hanging on by a thread. There's a Hydro right there, but the Dragon's Rage trying to escape the Artemii. They do so. They have height advantage right now. A good job of the Dragon's Rage just trying to stall here as the Victor's back in play. Victor's actually got something here against the Fancy Guardian if they can get into the position here.
Oh, but the mine!
Oh, the mine knocking him off course. Goodness me! I mean, just wow! Fancy Cloud Dancers just denying the Victor as the hull break on the Dragon's Rage goes out again. Another hull break on the Dragon's Rage. Oh my goodness! Mortar's going out on the Dragon's Rage as the Victor trying to engage the Fancy Guardian. Not a good spot for the Victor to be because they have to charge in. There's a hull break on the Victor. Mine coming up, and that hits the perma-hull. Oh my goodness, will a mine clean it up? Oh, there's a hull break with the mine.
So close, just
And-
one more shot. Oh, the armor's
Oh,
back
the
up.
mine just missing. The mine just missing right there. Taking a quick peek. Oh, the mine finishes it. The mine launcher finishes it as Fancy Cloud Dancers wins the Big Brass Revival tournament by a score of 5-2, a 3-0 set for them. Fancy Cloud Dancers making it rain money here today.
Yep, no, it is. They won the tournament in a convincing fashion, and they gave us some amazing games. And same with Chef Xedeon. Like, those games didn't get to show off. I'm so glad we got to see the games earlier with them as well, where they were just completely in control. And just what Fancy Cloud Dancers was able to do with mines to stop that kind of movement.